Hello, this is Dee from dmiddleton.com and welcome back to my channel. We have just started a series on how I earn an income, a full-time income, and make money blogging and utilizing Pinterest for my traffic. So if you have not seen the first video in that series, I would invite you to go back and watch that. Secondly, the second video we covered how to pick out a niche. Your niche is the topic of your blog. The content you're going to write about is usually narrowed down to a singular niche or a list of niches that are related, right? So dmiddleton.com is my domain name. That's my website name. My niche is cleaning, decluttering, and organizing. Those are all related. That's a niche topic. So that is your homework from the last video. So if you've already watched that first video and decided, yes, I think I do want to start blogging and earn an income using Pinterest, then I would invite you to pick out your niche and to research those top 20 niches that are Pinterest friendly that I mentioned in the last video. So I also mentioned in the last video the topic of this one. And the topic of this video is how to pick out your domain name and set up your WordPress blog. Now, the domain name, like I said, is the name of your website. The name of my website is dmiddleton.com. I own that domain. I had to purchase that domain, and every year I have to pay to renew that domain as the owner. So that is something you are looking for. You have to decide on a domain name. This is going to be the place where people find you. This is your website. This will lead to your home page. So when you open up a new site, typically if you're opening up a site on Pinterest, if you're clicking on a pin, for example, the images you see on Pinterest, and it leads you to a blog post, you are not going to the home page. You are going to a blog post within that blog, within that domain. So you can think of a domain as like an entire book, a novel, if you will. And you can think of each blog post as your chapters or your pages even. You can think of the categories within your blog as your chapters. You could think of the blog post as the pages or the subcategories within those categories. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that's not too confusing. But this is very important because you're going to need to pick a domain that, number one, is not already taken. And then number two, you're going to pick one that you're happy to stick with. Now, you can choose to do your name like I did, or you can choose to do something related to your niche. So let's just say you are going to blog about the topic of weddings. That's fresh on my mind. My daughter just got married recently, so we are very familiar with planning weddings. So if I were going to create a domain, create a website, which I'm not, but if I were going to create a website on the topic of weddings, then I might want to pick some type of name, some type of domain name that has the word wedding or event or bride or bridal, those kind of words you're looking for when you're looking for a domain. Now, you can use your name like I did. Several people do well doing that, but you kind of want to kind of use a domain that is suitable to your niche, right? So what I want you to do is kind of brainstorm those ideas. In the last video, we brainstormed niches. So you should have narrowed down to at least one niche that you're confident that you have enough knowledge and experience to write about. Now is the time to figure out what you're going to even call your site. Now, that is not guaranteed that your domain is going to be available. So I want you to sit down and write out several different domain names. You can try Googling these domains and see if any of them come up. If any of them come up, that means they're already taken. They already have a site owner. So you can't have that domain. So what you will need to do is go through and make you a list of domains that you kind of like. Maybe they're trendy on topic with your niche. So make you a list of those. Your second step in this process, after you've got your niche, after you've got some ideas for your domain, is you're going to need to go to someone who offers WordPress hosting. Why WordPress? You cannot just go into a website like GoDaddy or WordPress.blogspot, these things that offer free hosting that are chaotically long domain names. You do not need that. You need a domain name that you can live with, and you're going to need good hosting. Now, you can choose to use who you like, but I have been using Big Scoots for years. That's Bigscoots, Big Scoots. So if you Google that in, you can do that, but I'm going to leave you a link below that'll lead you right to where you need to be. Now, the people at Big Scoots, they offer hosting. What is hosting? We covered some of this in the first video. When you first buy a domain, when you first create a website, we're going to use WordPress because that's the type of website I want you to use. When you're first starting, you're going to be in the staging portion of your website, meaning it's not live. You're working on it, you're building it, maybe you're designing it. And that's not complicated. Don't get scared away here because there are plenty of free themes. And that's what we're going to use once you open your WordPress website. It will offer you some free themes. So you're going to be able to click through those, and a lot of that work is done for you. You just go in and change the colors, the font, put the words in there that you want it to say. Now, speaking of themes, I don't want you to get caught up on making the perfect home page. To be honest with you, I'm never happy with my home page. I update those images sometimes. I update the font sometimes. But let me tell you a little secret. Most people coming from Pinterest are not landing on your homepage. They're landing on a blog post, not your homepage. So your homepage matters some, but it doesn't matter a lot. So I don't want you to waste a lot of time here designing a homepage. Now, I am not a WordPress expert, so that is why I use bigscoots.com. They are WordPress experts and they are excellent at hosting. So what is hosting? We talked about how when you're creating your blog is in the staging phase. You're building it, right? You're creating your first blog post. You're putting images on there. You're making it personal to what you want to blog about. Now, hosting is the thing that you need to go live. It is the service that you use to go live. So when you click on dmiddleton.com, it is live. It is able to be accessed to the public right now. If it were in the staging phase, it would not be live. It would still be staging, right? Inactive. So hosting is something that you have to pay for. It is unavoidable. So if you want to go live, when you're ready to go live, Big Scoots will push it live. When you want to keep it in staging, you can keep it in staging. And they will help you with all of this. They will help you purchase your domain name. They will let you know if that domain name is not available, so you can pick another one. And they'll even give you suggestions. So I'm going to link that information for you below, bigscoots.com. And I want you to check that out. I want you to think about the niche. Think about how the domain name needs to match the niche, right? And we're going to go from there. Now, in the next video, we're going to cover how to create content for your new blog. And this does not need to be a lengthy process. We're going to create an overview in the same way that you would prepare an outline if you were about to have a speech. So follow me on the next video. Leave any comments or questions below, and I'll see you next time around. Thank you.